Hi, I'm Tim, and welcome to WatchYouWant.com. Thanks for logging on. Now, Jaeger-LeCoultre does not have a long history of developing and manufacturing in-house chronographs, but starting in the mid-90s, it decided to change that. The company, which is called the Watchmaker's Watchmaker, had a glorious history of developing movements, but very few chronographs. After experimenting on a few reverso chronograph models, the company launched the main event. In 2004, its own in-house chronograph launched in the Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Compressor Chrono. And approximately 6 years after that, we got this Master Compressor Chronograph 2 from Jaeger-LeCoultre. Now this model takes everything that was great about the original, which was a hit, and evolves it with a different dial, detailed changes to the tachometer, the chronograph sub-registers, relocates the date, makes the watch altogether easier to read. It also reshapes the case with finer lugs that wear closer to the wrist, and while the original watch wore a little bit large for its 41.5mm case diameter, this one wears spot on, exactly like you would expect a watch roughly between a 41 and a 42 to feel. So beyond the simple evolution of the aesthetic, the changes to the dial, which do add refinement and elegance compared to what was arguably a relatively brutal avant-garde aesthetic, but other than those changes, the substantive changes to the case revolve around the case back, which now includes quick-release lugs. It's as easy as that. Previously an exclusive of the Master Compressor Extremes, the Extreme World Alarm, and the Extreme World Chronograph, this system makes swapping straps yourself, whether from leather to rubber, or leather and rubber to a textile, from formal to informal, or even to a bracelet. All of these options are factory shipped from Jaeger-LeCoultre. You could purchase any of them or go aftermarket because the watch accepts standard spring pin straps, bracelets. You could even put a NATO in there. Very easy to use. And again, because it's a universal system, you don't get stuck with the proprietary quick release lugs that you have to purchase, for instance, if you want a Cartier Roadster alternate strap or bracelet. Anything from the aftermarket that fits the lug width and uses a spring pin will work here. So you have a lot of options. And you could swap the strap in 15 seconds if you're good at it. Doesn't get any better than that. Aside from the changes to the look of the watch and the massive upgrade to the strap changing system, this watch preserves everything that made that original Master Compressor Chronograph great. It is a bold look, and it's polarizing. It's a love it or hate it look, and you know what? Jaeger-LeCoultre is very comfortable with that. This watch has sold a lot of copies, and it's a perennial favorite. It's one of the most enduring designs. A lot of people thought that the compressors were controversial when they debuted back in 2002, but since then, they've become some of the most iconic and beloved of the company's in-house designs. Not just a manufacturer of movements, the company is now recognized as one of the foremost manufacturers in the world, increasingly mentioned alongside Patek Philippe, Vacheron Constantin, Lange. There's a lot of love for JLC, and it's deserved. Because not only do the watches look great, but it's what's inside that counts. Still a formidable manufacturer, JLC puts its caliber 751 chronograph into this watch, here in F-Spec model. Now the watch has a 65-hour power reserve. I'm going to start up the chronograph right here. It's very smooth. You can hear that watch start and stop. Very crisp. The action's immediate. There's no stagger to the hand because it's a vertical clutch engagement, and that crisp start, stop, reset action is afforded by a traditional column wheel. It's not the easiest way to make a chronograph, and it's not the cheapest, but it is the old-fashioned watchmaker's choice. And for connoisseurs of fine timepieces and upscale horology, it's the only choice. Now the watch uses all the modern standards. It has ceramic ball bearings in the automatic winding rotor. They're unlubricated, they never need to be maintained, they never need to be replaced. It has what's called spire cut gears, and if you really want to geek out on watch tech, that just means it's their own proprietary system that makes them more efficient for better accuracy and longer wear between services. It's got free sprung balance, which means that if you shake this watch, if you jar it, it's just as rugged as it looks, and it's nice to have a watch that lives up to the looks. When the machine inside the case can cash the checks that appearance is writing, you know you've got a package that delivers as a sports watch, and that's what this is. Because while it's formal with a classical black dial and a white metal exterior, it's very much a watch that's designed to play hard, hence the compressor crowns. Again, a holdover from the original. This is one of those don't fix what's not broken cases. 1/4 of a turn, and you get 10 ATM of water resistance. So unless you're going deep diving with the tank down to Rex, maybe this isn't the watch to take down to the Andrea Doria, but for the swimming pool, water skiing, your morning shower, the beach, even surfing, this watch can hold up. You might want to swap out the alligator strap, but everything else is up to spec. Now the compressor crown is JLC's own unique innovation, the idea being that when you're actually in the water, or you're sweaty, or you need your watch to be water resistant, heck, if you even want to operate the chronograph under those conditions, if you have even a little bit of moisture on your hands, you're not going to be able to grip a tightly screwed screw-down crown or chronograph pusher. So what they do is they give you something that's easy to grip, that's big, and gives you a clear signal with an arrow that appears and disappears, so you know whether or not the watch is actually unlocked. None of that ambiguous screw-down crown accidental drowning that sometimes happens with watches like Rolexes and Omegas when people jump in the water with the crown threaded out 2 or 3 turns. JLC is very clear about that. So in addition to ease, you get a great deal of security. It's a little insurance policy built in. Everything else is characteristic JLC. Well built, refined, universally loved by watch guys. This is the watchmaker's watchmaker, and arguably the watch fan's watchmaker. So if you're interested in checking out this Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Compressor Chronograph 2 with its exciting style, manufacturer content, loaded with features, check it out on our website, watchyouwant.com. We are the industry leader in pre-owned luxury watches, and I'm confident that if you check out our website, watchyouwant.com, you will find the watch you want.